Happy Saturday night, y'all. I am here to talk to you tonight about my new release, Falling in Deeper. Came out on Tuesday. It's the latest Wicked Lovers book. Super excited about Stone and Lily, and we will talk all about it for a while. First of all, I want to say hey and hope you all had a happy 4th of July. We are in the middle of a rainstorm, so it's a little strange and cloudy right now. I hope you can see me okay. If you can't, post down in the comments that you can't see, and we'll try to adjust the lighting as we go. The storm came up kind of suddenly. It's very strange in the middle of July. So, hope y'all are having a great evening, and let's have fun and get started. So, we're going to post in the comments immediately below the links and the buy links. There's the audio version for everybody who missed the message is coming on July 31st. There was a little hiccup and we're getting it all fixed. It's just taking a little bit, but we will have an audio version for you on July 31st, and I'll totally post all the links as soon as that's ready to go. So the first thing I want to do, I usually start a lot of these parties with character inspirations. So I'd like to tell you who Stone and Lily were for me. As I'm writing, I always have inspirations, character images that I work with. So it's easy for me to, hang on, we have a technical difficulty. I don't know where the inspirations went. I was inspired, I promise I was. So I always have characters who... And we're professional. Opa! I don't even know what happened. We printed it and then I don't even know. So yeah, this is fantastic, right? Yeah. So anyway, we'll look for those and we'll come back to them. I usually have my sidekick Lexi, and if I can't say something, then Lexi Blake always says something for me.
But William's just here.
William is here and he's singing and dancing for me in the background, so it's so fantastic. So, did we get them? Did they come off the printer?
Yes.
So, anyway, hi everybody. I'm now seeing your comments. It was a little delayed for me. So, hi, from Montreal, hi Shannon, from West Virginia, from Brooklyn, from Columbus. Oh my gosh, you guys are fantastic. Toronto, you're everywhere. I wish I could get everywhere to see you. Oh, I have inspirations. I hope you guys can see them. They're a little on the faint side. But there was no other way to share my screen, so I am going to try to show them up. Tell me if you can't see them. Can everybody see? Yes, no, maybe? Hi from Oklahoma. Hi from Colorado. Hi from Boston. That's fantastic. Okay, so Lily, Stone. You know what? They were different characters for me because Lily was kind of a retro, kind of, black liquid eyeliner girl for me, and I don't know why she came to me that way, and I just had a really fun time thinking about her little, polka dotted bows and her little peplum skirts and all that kind of stuff. And Stone was just like hot tat dude. It was so fun. And to redeem an ex-con, I had a really, really good time with that. So I'm sort of curious. The first thing I want to know out of you guys is, so a lot of you have been following with the series, and this is, yes, book 11, and I have, 4 novellas now. It's like, I even lose count. It's crazy pants, right? So tell me what you guys most look forward to when there's a new liquid. I'm so awesome to it. You know what? I just need more wine. That's what it is. I need more wine. So tell me what you guys most look forward to when there's a new Wicked Lovers book. I'm always curious. I try to bring in as many glimpses of old characters as I possibly can because I know everybody likes to catch up. So tell me what else you're looking forward to with new characters, because I also introduced some new characters for you in this book that I'm super excited about writing in the future. So questions and go, because otherwise I'm just going to say hi from Colorado and hi from, Vodka, you're my friend. That's fantastic. And hi from Ontario and hi from Colorado. Lots of people from Colorado and Canada today. Which is fantastic. Questions. Otherwise, I'm going to send William in here to sing and dance for you. No. Thank you, Janet. I really appreciate. Janet, J-A. Oh, that's an interesting spelling. That's really neat. Hi from Barcelona. Oh, wow. So what is it like after midnight for you? Thank you for staying up. Hi, Misty. How are you doing? did it originally have a different title? Yes, it did, Lori. The book, Falling in Deeper, was originally called Yours to Protect, because that theme is still relevant and it's still really true of the book, but I realized that it's so much about them falling in love so unexpectedly. They're both in really weird places in their lives, kind of really awful places in their lives. So the last thing that either one of them expected was to fall in love. So this whole thing was, for me, when I finished the book, I thought they didn't just, he didn't just protect her. They really, really fell in love. So it was kind of so fun. And that's why we got a title changed. I finished the book and I said to my editor, no, that's not going to work. So lots of you were saying, thank you for hot books. I have fun writing them. I think, here's a funny thing. Some people are scrolling things about heroes and heroines, and for me, there's a couple of things. I always want to write a hero who's got a little bit of a, hard outside and a really super mushy heart on the inside. That's sort of something that always draws me, and that's kind of my whole experience in life, even starting with my dad. He's definitely, there's a reason that my baby Black calls him grumpy, because everybody thinks he's grumpy on the outside, but he's really mushy on the inside. Same with hubby and lots of my uncles and cousins, and they're all a little bit funny and irreverent and just interesting, but they always mean well and they always have a big heart, and that I think is what's ultimately important in a hero. And this particular heroine, I felt like she really had such a long way to go. I understand a girl who comes out of her shell, who finally finds what she wants in life, who isn't afraid to be who she is, when she finally understands that things that have happened to her, she can put them behind her and she can go on and she can be happy again. So for me, this heroine, she starts in her shell, she starts a little small, and then she finds herself, and a lot of that is about him. A lot is about him helping her find out who she really is, and her having the courage to step up and say, I'm just not going to deal with my past anymore. I'm not going to put up with crap anymore. I'm totally just going to be me. Kara wants to know my inspiration for the series. I don't know if it's any just one thing. I'll be honest about it. It's about a lot of things. It's about music. It's about things that have happened to me. It's about people I know or once knew. It's I can't even say. Sometimes I've always said that for me, Wicked Lovers, all my books really are a little bit about like character walks in my head and sits on a stool in my head, which I know sounds odd, but says, hey, I have this problem and I want you to help me with it. And I sit there and I think, oh, another one with a problem. Okay, what do you want now? And how can I help you? And what's up? And so the next thing I know, they tell me this whole kind of story, except for Hunter. He was mean. He wouldn't tell me anything. He was just like, there's a problem and you can fix it. So most of the time I just find myself, okay, so you have a problem. I don't even know who you belong with. I have to look around and find out, who you belong with. I'm sort of playing mental matchmaker at the same time. So then I, figure out who it is that they need to be with. And, they then eventually tell me their story and we're off and running and then we have a plot. It's a very strange, sometimes I wake up with whole plots and sometimes I walk around the house in circles for hours trying to figure out exactly where to go and what to do. But it all works out in the end, eventually. Somebody asked me who the next book was about. The next book is about my yummy British bodyguard, Heath, and he has found through Sean and Callie and Thorpe somebody to work for temporarily while he's in Dallas, and you will meet Jolie. I love her. She is just as businessy, ballsy, kick-ass, don't take any prisoners kind of girl. I really, really had so much fun. They have this great cat and mouse chemistry. I can't wait for you all to see. But I've just finished the edits, and the book comes out next February, so I know it's a while. The whole edit process takes about a year for traditional publishing, so the book is done. We've been through the first round, and I'll keep you guys posted as we get through the varying rounds of edits so that you know what's going on. And I'm guessing you'll start seeing really good teasers probably fall, early December at the very latest, but probably before then. Was I worried that I would be writing a convicted felon as a hero? Yes. But this actually comes from a place of somebody I know in my real life, and he's actually, it's one of those, I screwed up, I was young, I was stupid, I didn't really understand the implications of what I was doing, and I paid for it, and I'm done. So, I believe in redemption and second chances and forgiveness. So I'm hoping that everybody else will as well. Let's see. Somebody said that they love that Stone owned up to his mistakes. I think you have to. I think you have to know, who you are, and I think you know that your past is who you are and where you've come from, and you just have to be okay. You have to forgive yourself at some point and move on. Let's see. What else? Lots of love for Hunter and Logan and Tara. And all, yeah, thank you guys. They're some of my favorite people too, which is probably why you see a lot of the Edgington family recurring in my books, and a lot of Sean and Callie and Thorpe. They end up being some of my really, really favorite people. Kara wants to know if I am married. Yes, I will have been married 25 years in September. So Mr. Black has put up with me for a very long time. Does he help me with plots? Sometimes. A lot of times he helps me with more technical things. If I have gun questions, that's who I ask. My husband said, yeah, 25 years to who? He's a crazy man. He has to be to put up with me, right? Let's see. So I'm so excited to have, like I said, book 11 in the series, book 12 in the works. I also have, before I forget to tell you, there'll be another novella in November called Dirty Wicked, which is also up for pre-order right now. And if you'll remember Nick from Ours to Love, he was Javier's detective who tried to find out what had happened to Javier's wife when she was murdered. So Nick has been through the ringer since we last saw him, and I'm really, really excited about it. This is a story I've wanted to write for like 6 years, not even kidding. So I'm really glad to finally have this opportunity. Mary makes a very good point. I have to put up with William too. I'm getting dirty facial expressions.
Lucky girl.
Lucky girl. Okay, that's what I'm told. Lucky girl. So the next thing I really would love to talk about is... Oh, I know. I had a question. So tell me what you guys really like about a bad boy that's most attractive. I know what I like, but I want to hear some things from you guys. Because believe me, I have more bad boys running around in my head, so let's compare notes. Somebody asked me why I was so awesome. Thank you. Right now I just feel sort of flustery and nervous. And okay. And Mr. Black is in the background telling me to cool myself. Thank you.
You are the coolest chick I know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, party on. Okay. What am I drinking? I am drinking Pinot Grigio. This is, I think, here I have the bottle. Santa Margherita Pinot Grigio. I actually really like this. It's light and summery. I can't drink reds. I'm allergic to them. They give me a super terrible headache, unfortunately. I like the flavor, but it doesn't work out for me. So I love my Pinot Grigios and my Sauvignon Blancs and all that good stuff. And it's Lexi Blake's fault, by the way. Sarah says she also loves a bad boy with a soft heart. Who doesn't, right? I mean, a really super tough dude who can, like, be tender and say I love you. That's the best thing ever. Let's see. Bad boys are good underneath. Gosh, this is scrolling fast, y'all. Yes, and they're dedicated to their women. See, that was my whole experience in life, too. Strong and compassionate. Absolutely. All those things I love also. Catherine wants to know if I would write about plus-size women. Actually, I have, in all honesty. Kata and London both were plus-size girls. So was Carlotta. In the Masters of Menage series, off the top of my head, I believe Annabelle was, and gosh, I'm drawing a blank, but I know I've written 3 or 4. I also was asked the other day why I never write heroines over 30, and that is also a fallacy because Jolie, who will be out next February in Holding On Tighter, I forgot to tell you the title earlier, I'm good like that. She's 30, and of course, Carlotta from Wicked All the Way is 50. So I have written, yes, I've written young heroines, I've written older heroines. I think that beauty is beauty no matter what age you are, and I think there's something great about being every age. I enjoyed my 20s, I enjoyed my 30s. You know, I'm enjoying life now. I have, and I think there's something valuable to write about at every stage of your life, no matter who you are. So I enjoyed kind of going all over the board and writing about all kinds of people doing all kinds of things. Let's see. Teresa wants to know if I write with Lexi Blake, if there's anybody else I write with. I actually do already write with Jenna Jacob and Isabella LaPearl, and we write the Doms of Her Life series, which I don't happen to have in front of me right now. But we are actively working on book 4, which is the final book in this cycle of the series, and it comes out September 13th, and I love this series. It's one of my favorite things to write. It's super, super angsty, emotional. These people have been through, oh my gosh, you can't even believe it. This is one of my favorite things to sink into. I have so much fun. Kathy wants to, she wants to know why I would do a plus-size heroine who's 50, and I did. Look at Wicked All the Way. Her name is Carlotta, and she was plus-size, and she was 50, and I will continue to do all kinds of heroines as they come to me. Promise, 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 because I think all women are beautiful. Let's see, it's 1:10 in Spain and you're still watching me. I thank you so much. I'm a night owl and I understand, but sometimes it's the middle of the night. You're thinking everybody's in bed. Why am I still up? But thank you for staying with me. What is the process like when you write with another author? Leslie wants to know. You know what? It's different, honestly, depending who I work with. Lexi Blake and I work very differently. We sort of work separately because she likes to write really fast, and I'm actually I love to edit. I'm the logical one of the two of us, believe it or not. I don't sound logical today, but I'm the logical one of the two of us. So basically, she'll write a lot of, she'll write probably 2/3 of the story, and then I'll come behind her and fill in the blanks and, change any logic leaps or loopholes or whatever. I'll flesh out some of the emotions in the love scenes, and she writes all the action. So that's her. She loves action, and I'm more of the emotion girl. So it's a nice balance. We balance each other out, and we play to our strengths, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We plot together first, and then she reads the final draft. It's very much a collaborative experience, just not necessarily at the same time. When I write with, thank you, Alicia. I love the Doms of Her Life too. When I write with Alicia, listen to me. When I write with Jenna and Isabella, we actually write together. We were writing on Skype, but it's awful anymore. So we've had to find Uvu and GoToMeeting and other things that will work. But we actually share a screen and talk through pretty much everything. We edit everything together. It's very, very collaborative. So right now I'm spending about 15 hours a day with them. Although Jenna was at, I want to say it was the Illinois or Indiana Book Bash today. So I hope it all went well for you, babe. Let's see. Is it easier to write with someone else or by yourself? It just really depends. After almost 50 books, I've gotten used to both, in all honesty. There are times I really like, as I was finished falling in deeper, it was last autumn and I was sitting, it was so fantastic. I was sitting on my back patio and Mr. Black had started the fire table. I was drinking a cup of tea. It was about 11 o'clock at night. It was so incredibly peaceful and beautiful. And there are things about that experience that you can't get when you're collaborating because it's all yours. And I have my earbuds in and I have my music on. And I'm kind of really in my happy place at this point, right? But sometimes when I collaborate, because I'm a super extroverted person, I like people. And this is a very internal, quiet profession if you let it be. So I find, honestly, that I really enjoy collaborating, and it's good for me to be able to collaborate sometimes and then go right by myself at other times. And I kind of trade off, one for the other for that reason, because too much of any one thing, and I kind of go a little bit crazy, but I find that that's a nice balance for me. So I like both of them. Let's see. Thank you, Sabrina. I love you too. Let's see. Will you keep writing with Jenna and Isabella? We'll get a book or two. We have not discussed that per se. We have talked about plots, but it always depends on time frames and what's happening next. And what do I think there's anybody more deserving and more sarcastic who needs to get somebody who puts him through the ringer? That would be Beck. Let's see. Let's see. I know, Beck, everybody wants Beck now. I know, he's so fun, and the sarcasm, there's such an awesome line. I can't wait for you guys to read it in book 4. He is so funny and sarcastic. I actually love working with Beck mentally. Nancy says the Audible books are fantastic, and she likes my narrator. You know what? I love Christian Fox's voice, and I could listen to him forever. He's so melty. And he seems to get what I'm saying, and he knows. As I'm writing dialogue, there's like this thing in my head, and I can hear the people talking in my head, and he seems to know exactly how it sounds. Like, he knows where the pauses are, he knows where the accents are. Like, he just seems to get, the breaths and where to move and how to emote. Like, it's amazing. I think he's fantastic. Let's see. Oh, your baby. Hi, baby Luna. That's so cute. Hi, baby Luna. Let's see. So, Lori wants to know, is William an inspiration for a character? You know what? In a lot of ways, he's over here preening and flexing for me. You know what? In some ways, he's internally a lot of who I write about, for sure, because I find that... you can't be married to somebody for 25 years and not learn a lot about how they see the world. And I find that to be such a beautiful thing, or I wouldn't be married to him anymore. So, I love you, honey. He's just looking at me. Let's see. Do I write to music? Is that what you're asking, Raina? Yes, absolutely. I have to write to music. I have to drive to music. I'm such a musical person that I find that nothing works very well for me without music. So there's always a lot of Pandora. My playlist is always growing. I find music a lot that a lot of people have never heard of, and I don't know why I key into kind of, offbeat things, because I haven't heard it so much. When you get in the car and listen to the radio or whatever, you've heard this song like 50 times and you change the channel thinking, I have to listen to something else. And I think that's when I'm writing, I like to not be focused on the fact that I've now heard this song so many times I don't like it anymore. And I have to really hear things that are evocative for me without being overplayed. So yeah, I'm very, very much into music. I like my candles, and sometimes I'll even write to ocean sounds or, recorded rainstorms, whatever kind of works for me. That's sort of where I go. I'm just, I just want to write the best story I can. What type of music? You know what, Sabrina, here's the funny thing. So I have often referred to myself as musically schizophrenic. I'll listen to almost anything. I'm eclectic. There we go. Not a super fan of rap or reggae, but pretty much anything else I'm game for, at least for a little while. I grew up with every decade of music imaginable. My grandparents, of course, introduced me to... I have one grandmother who introduced me a lot to things like Billie Holiday and a lot of jazz standards. She really loved all that stuff. And in the next breath, she would listen to Joplin or the Eagles. She was all over the map, too. My grandparents on my mom's side listened to a lot of big bands. So I heard, Glenn Miller and the Lemon Sisters and, Swing and Sway with Sammy Kaye and all kinds of stuff growing up, which, I actually ended up liking all of it. I enjoy kind of orchestral sounds. And then, my dad grew up in the 50s. My mom and my aunt grew up in the 60s. I was a kid in the 70s. So for me, I've kind of listened to a lot of music my whole life, and I just like all of it. I could go on about music because I'm crazy about it. Music and makeup. I keep threatening, by the way, to start a YouTube channel about makeup, but I won't. Do I ever put playlists out for book? Carrie wants to know. Yes, I actually have a Spotify for Wicked Lovers, which I probably need to add to. But there definitely is a Spotify. If you go out there and search for Wicked Lovers, and I think I also have a link from my website. So if you want to go see a lot of the music that's inspired me over the years for Wicked Lovers for various and sundry books, then they're out there. Let's see. Let's talk about heroines next, because this is a whole thing for me. So I want to ask you guys. I don't always write the heroine with the really super sad background. Sometimes I do, and the ones that come to mind, I think the most, are probably Lily, who's in this book, probably Rain from Doms of Her Life, and there's a Callie maybe, and every so often London in her car accident. There's every once in a while there's always that heroine who's gone through a lot in her background, and I really feel like I want people who've been through a lot to know that, there's love for you too. It's not just all terrible past and whatever. And so I get this sort of mixed reaction sometimes from people, because it is sad, and I know sometimes it's hard to read. And I remember once reading, when I very first started reading romances, I remember once reading a book where the beginning was so sad, and I put that book down for probably 6 months, and I just thought, I'm going to weep, I'm going to cry through this whole thing, and I can't read it, so I'm not going to. And I didn't pick it up forever. And then the next thing I knew, I ran out of books finally. I was a college student, and I was so poor, so I didn't really have any money. So I finally picked up this book that I had put down, that I was like, oh my gosh, this ends up being one of my favorite books ever. Go figure. So it just goes to show that sometimes the big emotional journey is the one that moves you the most, or at least it did me. So I like to write these heroines who, have climbed their own internal mountain and come out on top. I find that message to be kind of uplifting, even if everything they had to go through to get there is really, really crappy. But tell me what you guys love in heroines, because honestly, I'm reading a book now, and she's so quirky and cute and fun, and just kind of light and hysterical, and I like that too. I like a lot of different things about a lot of people, but I'd love to hear what you guys think about heroines too, because I think we as women can be hard on each other, but we should be supportive, right? Everybody's got a journey and a story for a reason. So April says she likes my heroines have gone through so much. I like that too, because I think a lot of us have had, stuff in life, even if it's not, oh my gosh, my whole family died and I lived on the street for 5 years, or I don't know, whatever, I had a terrible car accident, or fill in the blank. We've all been through stuff that was hard for us to overcome, and I think, like I said, I'm all about the happy message that we can all find something awesome in life. Quirky, independent, and smart. Yes, I understand. I like them to be educated. Amen, sister. And I like the average girl too. I think everybody has times where they feel like the everyday girl. I totally get that. Every single day, I totally get that. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I have a cousin. Somebody says not the Barbie dolls. You know what? I have a cousin, and in a way, I totally get where she's coming from. She's always been so pretty her whole life that people have looked at her differently for it. And I think there's actually something to be said about that. People wouldn't take her seriously. She's actually a really smart girl. But because she was so pretty and really sort of well-proportioned, her boobs were big. She didn't get taken seriously a lot, and I felt kind of sorry for her. It wasn't fair, because she really is a cool chick and a very smart girl. So, do I treat writing like a full-time job? Absolutely, it is my full-time job. In fact, it's what we do here in my whole house. Mr. Black gracefully retired from corporate America after 2 years, 4 years? Close enough, long time. And, gave up an executive position to come help me, because there was so much going on here, and I really, needed a partner, and that's what he's done all these years, has been my partner. So And Baby Black gets involved when she can, young and busy and getting ready to start college in the fall, but she's, done what she can when she can, and it's like a whole family affair now. It's kind of awesome that they all get involved, and sometimes when schedules allow, they travel with me. So a lot of you have met them, which I love, that Mr. Black and Baby Black actually have fans too. You know what, Kim, you're absolutely right about, sorry, I'm jumping subjects, but I'm answering your questions. When you've been through hard times, it's great to find the person you can be vulnerable with, absolutely. So, do I find time to read for myself? You know what? I'm a terrible, terrible, terrible insomniac. So a lot of times I'm reading between, midnight and 2 a.m. That's kind of, I won't say I always remember everything, and I sometimes fall asleep with my iPad open, but that is sort of my reading time. So I'm getting notes from, I can't read. Oh, got it. Let's see. What else is going on? What books do I read? You know what? I read a little bit of everything. Again, like music, my Kindle is a little bit strange too. Sometimes I read a lot of nonfiction, and it goes with the territory of writing a book, and I'm having to either read nonfiction books about a subject that I'm going to be writing about, or I'm watching YouTube videos about somebody who is in that profession, for instance, or, that kind of stuff. And sometimes, honestly, I'm just watching YouTube videos about video games or people doing their makeup, or Crash Course History is fun. Like History in 10 minutes. It's, John Green is funny and I like it. So I never know. That's, like I said, my midnight to 2 a.m. time is sort of my decompressed time, but I do find myself reading and ingesting in some form or fashion a lot of nonfiction just because I need it. And then sometimes, I'm reading, I'll read a sweet romance, I'll read straight fiction, I'll read women's fiction, I'll read, I love Harry Potter, I'm just going to say it. Let's see. Will I be attending any reader events? Denise wants to know. Denise, I am doing,
Grapevine in July.
Grapevine in July. What is it called? Books and Boots in July, which is in Grapevine, Texas, at the Embassy Suites.
It's all information's on your website.
Information's on my website. See, that's why I keep him around, because I can't remember. And then at the end of October, I will be doing the Shameless Book Con, which is in Orlando. And that information is also on my website, and I'm really excited for that. So please, for Books and Boots, I've already got a pre-order form floating around. Is it on the website or?
It was come out in a newsletter, but we'll be sure to we're going to resend it via social media.
Okay, we will resend that via social media, and I'll also be sure to put it in. Oh, we won't have another newsletter before then, will we? We'll send it out via Facebook. So if you guys are coming to the event in Grapevine in July, be on the lookout for the form. If you want something in particular, let me know. And then next year, I'm really trying to write more and travel less, because this year has been really tough for me. The last few years have been tough for me on travel. So I'm trying to stay to 4 or 5 events next year. Right now, I'm committed to doing an event in San Francisco in March. There'll be another one the following weekend in Orlando. That's a Polycon. Then I'll be doing RT and either Thriller Fest or RWA, depending. And then I'm planning on doing Shameless again next year in October. And that will probably be it for next year. Casey, I know every time somebody asks me to come to Australia, I think I want to do that so bad. 2 trips to Hawaii in 4 months this year have really made me be like, I need to stay off a plane for a while. But I do want to come to Australia. I really, really do. It seems so awesome. And as long as I'm there, I kind of want to go to Fiji too, just saying. Martha will be both a Polycon and Shameless, so that's fantastic. I'm excited. Rebecca, I wish I could be, every day people say to me, come here, come there, and I wish I could, but the truth is I would never get any writing done if I went every place. So I try to get around the country. I try to hit every region of the country at least once every couple of years, which is, I'm doing the San Francisco event next year because it will have been almost 2 years since I've been to the West Coast. So that kind of thing. I try really hard to get to every region every so often and ask you guys to travel to me if I'm anywhere even close to you, because that's probably as close as I can get for a while. Tanika, I'm sorry. Since you're in Zimbabwe, I probably won't get to you anytime soon. I don't like planes that much. I'm sorry. Raina, if you live in Irving, come see me in Grapevine. It's at the end of the month. It'll be fun. I think it's going to be awesome. Let's see. So, let's see. What else? Oh, I meant to tell you because I'm brilliant like that too. I think if everything went according to plan, the first comment at the top of this string will be all the buy links, and there's also for Falling in Deeper, there's the buy links, and I think there's some other information too. I'm so sorry. My brain is in a book. But the other thing I was going to say was there are actually on my website, on my blog, there's been a different excerpt of the book every day this week. So go check out the blog and see all the various excerpts. And then I want to tell you guys too, newsletter subscribers, and that's a super easy clip from my website also, I'm going to start putting in some exclusive excerpts to my newsletter pretty much every month. And there's also every month winners of a free copy of a backlist book from iBooks. So every month somebody's just spontaneously winning a book. You guys should be there. Carol wants to know if I've ever stopped writing a book like writer's block. Yes, I have. And that's usually, I'm a big believer in the fact that the book lives somewhere in your subconscious, and your job is sort of to get out of the way, in all honesty. It's when you think you have a lot of preconceived ideas about what the book is or should be, and you try to tell the book, you're going to do this today. And honestly, what really most of the time happens is the characters just say, that's not going to happen. So you have to take a step back and say, okay, I was doing really great until this point. Why did it suddenly go wrong from there? And sometimes I've had to just delete pages or chapters or stop what I was doing and rewrite things because I wanted it to be something that it just wasn't going to be. And it's actually a really valuable lesson for anybody who's writing. If the characters stop talking, there's a reason, and you should really go back and have a mental chat with them and say, hey, what's up with that?
Connie Mayhead loves your shirt.
Oh, thank you. This is so, comfortable. I love these things. Soma is your friend. Let's see. So here's the other thing I want to talk about. So this is a really interesting experience, and I know everybody's different. So there's no right or wrong answer, y'all. So here's the thing. I write sometimes about insta-love, because that was my experience. Yes, Mr. Black, I took one look at you. I really did. This is an honest, true story. I was 17 years old. I met Mr. Black through a mutual friend. I went home to my mother that day and said, I met the man I'm going to marry. To which she said, you are 17, you don't know anything, and by the way, you're crazy pants. And I said, okay, that's great, that's fine, whatever. But I think I'm having the last laugh. You know what I'm saying? So for me, when I read about insta-love, I understand it because I get it, because I've been there. I know not everybody feels that way, and you feel like, and it's true, you should get to know people. I'm in no way saying that, you always know everybody's heart immediately when you meet them. I think I just had a gut stink that I knew this person and his heart was right for me. Some people, that doesn't happen for. And I know the insta-love thing is more difficult, but I'd love to hear what your experience is or when you have a tough time. I just know I love it because I know it, and there it is. Oh, while we're waiting for you guys to answer, Sandra wants to know how many books I try to publish in a year. Somewhere between 3 and 4 novels and a novella. Like I said, it's one of the reasons I'm actually traveling less next year, because I would like to get more books out and less jet lag. Let's see. Oh, Raina says the same thing happened to her. See, I didn't think I could be totally alone in that. Erica loves Insta-Love. It's romantic. It is romantic. And it's so funny now because, okay, see, I'm going to go public with this. I'm going to tell him everything, babe. I'm going to tell him everything.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, he says. So the truth is, I'm like, when I met Mr. Black, the first time I met him, we both worked at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It was our summer jobs. I was still in high school, and he was working a summer job in college. And we met, and I was wearing a clown outfit because I was selling balloons. Yes, I was. No face makeup. I would not have taken that job. But it was like a goofy little two-toned, puffy-sleeved, roughly brick bra. Oh, it was awful. They were like some of the ugliest things ever. But yes, that's what I was wearing when we met. And he was dressed up, nicely in a suit. So, anyway, but he had Insta-Love, too, for the girl in the clown outfit. I don't know why. Let's see. Is it hard to show a newborn book to someone for the first time? Yes. And I'm an incessant editor. I can't stop. I really can't. So I'll go through things quite a few times before I finally say, okay, enough's enough. Somebody has to tell me whether I'm going in the right direction or not. So I'm not the only one with Insta-Love. That's fantastic. Thanks, guys. I'm glad to know I'm not crazy. At least not totally. Let's see. I think that we should have a prize here, and then, let's see. So I have this awesome little, hang on. I have this awesome little RT bag from the most recent RT in, what, we're in Vegas, right? We were in Vegas.
That's correct.
Yeah, so it is actually still full of all the books it came with, plus I'll throw in some stuff too. And, you just never know. I'll surprise you. Yes, I just had it. So that is for Mary Elizabeth Grant. So, you know what, Mary? If you will send a Facebook message, is that how you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, send a Facebook message to William Black, and he will hook you up. He will take that sucker to the post office and get it off to you. Yes, wine. Totally. I forgot my wine. You're right, Kara.
It might be easier for him just to email me, babe.
Okay.
There's a lot of William Blacks out there.
Oh, okay. He had a good point. So, Mary, take that back. Send an email to him at manager@shaylablack.com. And someone's going to write a book for the first time. What advice would I give them? Okay, here it is. It's going to be hard, and you are going to be frustrated, and you are not going to be good at it right away unless you're like freaking amazing, and it's going to take practice, and you're going to want to pull your hair out, and it's going to suck sometimes, and you know what, you're going to be okay. You go and you keep going, and it is what it is, and eventually you get better. I've been writing professionally for 20 years now. It's still, in fact, I had a scene today where I literally had to stop what I was doing, leave the house and go to CVS, like somehow the magical answer to this problem was at CVS, I don't even know. And walk around the store for a few minutes and, grab stuff that I needed and come back home. And I felt suddenly much, much better. I don't even know why, but sometimes a change of scenery. And you have to know who you are and how you work. And, if you need quiet or dark or light or candles, or you just have to figure out what works for you and be true to it. Just because another system works for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You just have to be you. So let's see. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, no? I had a question and it scrolled too fast. Okay. Bummer. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to try as fast as I can to keep up with you guys. So, I will now just tell me what you want to know in general. I know you guys have been throwing me questions about things other than Wicked Lovers and other than the questions I've been asking you all hour, and I've been trying to kind of put it off here as much as I can. So, if you have other questions here, just holler at me. Sandra wants to know, publishing house or self-publishing? I have done both. I've been traditionally published. I started publishing in 1998. There was nothing but traditional publishing. So, Yeah, I've been publishing with Berkeley since 2004, and they are the publisher of Falling in Deeper. In fact, all the Wicked Lovers novels, the novellas have been, some of them have been mine, some of them have been 1001 Dark Nights. I've done some things indie. All my collaborations, for the most part, except for Perfect Gentleman, are indie. I like things about both, to be honest, and I'm super happy to be able to do either one. Somebody wants to know what I do for self-care. I go to the gym a couple times a week. I'm really big into skincare. I actually really, really believe in skincare, and I could go on and on and on about skincare, like a lot, because I love it. Other than that, I'm happiest in my habitat. I like to work. I like to be in my office. I like to, sometimes I do play some Fallout 4, or I watch hubby play GTA 5. We have our video game moments. We go out every so often. I like a good movie. More than that, I really try to just, do whatever I can with the free time I have, and the rest of the time I key in on work because I enjoy it. Let's see. What's the correct way of writing, present or past? Jocelyn, there's no correct way. Either way is technically correct. It's whatever sounds good to you and whatever your voice is. I know people who I write in past. I know a lot of people who write in present. Julie Kinner comes to mind. She's a good friend of mine. There is no right way or wrong way. There's just whatever way feels good to you and whatever voice you need to tell the story in. And, it's all about the story at the end of the day. Let's see. Somebody was wondering something about my office and I missed it. I'm sorry. Somebody did ask me about my chair. This came from Relax the Back, I think. So it's really comfy. It's all, because I spend so many hours in this chair, and I think it's all like memory foam and stuff. So it's awesome.
The question was wondering where you write, in your office or in your patients. So at home and other places.
You know what? I write at home mostly, unless I'm traveling for whatever reason. But a lot of times I bounce around. I'm in my office, I'm in the family room, I'm out on the back patio, I'm in bed, it's wherever I feel like being at the moment, and I've just sort of learned to respect that sometimes I want to be in different places for different reasons. Sometimes I've had perpetual problems with my left elbow, so sometimes it's literally about moving to another chair because my elbow feels better. Sometimes it's just about I go to the family room, I'm closer to a window. I happen to need that sometimes. So, it really depends on where I'm at for the moment. Okay, all right. So lots and lots of questions about Doomsday Brethren. I wish I could, guys. I can't right now. I continue to try to fight the good fight, and if there's any progress on that front, I will absolutely be the first one, because yes, I want to write a book for Shock so bad. I'm not able to do it right now. I'm promising someday I really will get there. Sandra says my husband is awesome. See? He's like, yay. Do I write with pen and paper or electronic? Oh my gosh, I can't even write with a pen and paper. My brain moves way, way, way faster than my hand ever could. So I have learned to type exceedingly fast, because otherwise I would have a thought and it would be gone. And if you haven't been able to tell, I'm a little bit like mentally scattered. I'm all over the map. But that's just, when I sit down to write, I'm really focused, but I have to make really sure that I'm not being distracted. Facebook is a terrible distraction. So Raina says she started writing 6 years ago, but it didn't work out and she deleted it. You know what, Raina, I have a friend, so she was saying that she wrote one genre and then she ended up now writing another one. And I've actually written a lot of genres, and sometimes it's a representation of where I was in my life at the time. It's not like I left the genre because I didn't like it or didn't want it, or it's just something about where I was in my life at that time, that's what I wanted to say. And I think you just, again, have to respect who you are and the story that you have to tell, and it's all cool from there. Let's see, what else? I know I've seen some other questions previously. Have I ever deleted work for the Wicked Lover series? No, I really haven't. That's the one thing I can say. I'm kind of, at this point, I tend to be, when I'm writing alone in particular, I tend to be a fairly one-draft writer. I will write it, and I'll edit it 2 or 3 times, send it off to somebody, one of my trusty beta readers to read it, and then when I get the book all done, I'll sit down and read it as a whole. And I would say, by the time I do that, the book is probably 90% of what I want it to be, but a lot of that is practice and knowing what I want the book to say and already having a really clear vision. I'm not one of those who can, I know there's a lot of people, pantsers, who can sit down and write by the seat of their pants. That's not me. I really have to have a good idea of where I'm going. Not to say I'm always going to follow that path. That's where I think I'm going. But a lot of times it worked out. Sometimes it doesn't. But just respect your process.
3 quick questions. Chips or chocolate?
Chocolate. I'm not a chip girl. I wish I were. No, I don't. I'm just not a salt person.
How do you come up with the names of your characters?
You know what? Most of the time they walk in my head and say, hey, my name is so-and-so, and this is my problem. Every once in a while, though, I have this great baby naming site. They probably think I'm perpetually having a child, but...
We can hope.
No.
Shelby says she looks forward to seeing you in Grapevine.
Yay!
Hi, Shelby.
Hi, Shelby. Let's see. Do I write at the beginning and go to the end or skip around? I'm a very linear writer. It's because I'm going on an emotional journey with the characters. That's really the only way it works for me. Like I was working on a scene today and I was thinking, oh, I really need to, this is frustrating me and I'm going to put it aside and work on the next scene. And then I got into the next scene. I was like, nope, can't do this because I really, really need to be linear. I need to know what's going on emotionally. So instead, I got the trip to CVS. Let's see. Do I get ideas from personal life, family, friends, kids? You know what? I won't say it's like whole people or whole events. It's snippets of things that have happened to people I know. And I will say, the whole Edgington clan in a lot of ways are my cousins and uncles and my dad and my grandfather, and they're all crazy and irreverent, and these are the people who would play poker on Christmas Eve till 3 a.m. They're just crazy, and they were all so much fun, and I'm sad to have lost my grandfather, and it was sort of the glue that held the family together a lot, and I miss those times, but I love being able to recapture the memories of how they were and what that time was like through writing characters like this. So, let's see. Thank you, Donna. I'm happy to share my imagination with you. As crazy a place as that is, I'm glad that you can follow along. And the other questions I know that I've seen earlier. Masters of Menage, we are trying. Lexi and I both have crazy schedules. Maybe December, maybe next year. She and I really need to talk schedules. She's in New York at Thriller Fest this week. Otherwise, I would have my crazy partner in crime with me. But, we're working on it, and we will get a schedule and get it out as soon as possible. Brenda says, I'm new to her, and what genre do I write? I write contemporary, sexy to erotic romance, depending on what books you're reading. I've also written historical romances, paranormal romances. I have a couple of sweet books out there. So anyway, that's kind of who I am, and you can see all of my books and series and read my bio and whatnot at shaylablack.com. And... let's see. Bye, Lori. Have fun with Outlander. I wish I could watch it. Unfortunately, I can't watch Outlander, and I can't watch Game of Thrones, and I can't watch anything that's gory because I'm very squeamish, and yes, you can make fun of me because everybody else does anyway. Lexi Blake thinks I'm hysterical. William Black thinks I'm hysterical. I can't help it. Like the sight of blood just makes me want to go blah. Let's see. Diana says Matt is not dead. Well, yeah, okay. Sure, you can think that. Whatever works for you. The other question I saw was, of course, about more Perfect Gentleman books. Yeah, we're thinking it'll probably be 2017. We are still discussing things with the publisher and don't have any dates yet. but we are going to get back to you as soon as possible. So with that said, oh my God, it's been an hour. Okay, so this is me.
Question.
Oh, William has a question.
iPhone or Android?
Oh, iPhone or iPhone. Oh my gosh. You know what? Okay, so here's the funny thing, and then I really will shut up. But I used to be a PC girl, and at one point, I even had a Windows phone. I don't even know if they make those anymore, like just straight Windows, yeah. So it's so funny because William tried a MacBook first, and I was like, nope. I can't. It's too foreign and I don't want it. And I used one once and I hated it at work like 59 million years ago or whatever. So at any rate, I got to a point where I had killed, not even kidding, 3 brand new PCs in like 14 months? It was ridiculous. Like the last one I really killed in less than 6 months. I'm such a hard user. This MacBook I've actually had for almost 3 years. No, right at 3 years. So after he converted and things went well, I have to say that I converted and now I'm in love and I would never go back. And I love being able to sync my iPad to my phone, to my computer, and I have one calendar because God knows I would never remember to be anywhere without it. So people tell me that Game of Thrones is life. I just can't do it. If they could do it without the gore, I would totally be there because everything else sounds fantastic. What program do I use to write? Oh, Lynette, let me tell you. And actually, they have specials every once in a while, but I think even if it's not on special, I write to Scrivener, Scrivener. You have to be a little bit happy to be super organized. They give you so many tools to be organized. It's fantastic. I switched about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And I actually really love it because there's a place where you can have on the left called your binder, and you can have all your scenes and chapters and scenes, and you can either call them chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, or you can actually title them whatever you want to. And then you can have the scenes under them, and you can have like a brief description. Then you have your main text in the middle, and then off to the right is a place where you can write a summary of the scene, and then you can make notes. So like I have off on the right, this scene takes place at this certain day and time. And then my trusty handy assistant Rachel comes behind me and actually creates an entire timeline of the book based on what I've put in those little empty spots about what day and time it is, so that when I go back to edit the book, I have a complete timeline of everything, and it's really saved me from screwing some things up. So I think now that I've talked an hour, and I will leave it there.
I think you just mentioned Rachel. There was anything more you want to say about Rachel?
Rachel's fantastic. Rachel's wonderful. I would probably not be standing anymore without Rachel. Rachel pretty much runs everything, and Rachel tells me, go here, do this, be there, and I say, okay, that's great, thank you so much. Rachel is responsible for all the graphics you see, all the videos I do. She is my right arm and my left arm, and I couldn't function too well without Rachel.
Rachel is life.
Rachel is life, it's true. I'll tell you, you know what? There's one other thing that I watch. I don't watch Game of Thrones. If you guys are not watching Unreal on Lifetime, go back to the beginning. It's so fantastic. It's biting and sarcastic and funny. And if you've ever watched The Bachelor or Bachelorette and thought, what is that? Like, is that even real? Go watch Unreal because it's so funny. Other than that, I have a grand prize winner. Do I have a grand prize winner?
Yes, you do.
I do. So for all of you who have stuck with me, thank you so much. I will try to be more concise next time, but sometimes my whole conversations kind of go like this. You can just call me Creative Brain or I don't know, whatever. Oh, Bonnie loves Unreal too. See, I knew somebody else was watching it. So awesome. So my grand prize winner, and you're going to have some Wicked Lovers backlist books and some cool swag and who knows what else. We'll figure it out. Maybe some of my favorite goodies.
Might be something special.
It might be, because, I have some favorite goodies. I've been on a binge of watching YouTube videos about awesome stuff lately, so, I might even sneak a few things in there. Now I'm going to butcher her last name, though.
I know.
Okay.
Spell it.
If I screw up your last name, I'm super, super sorry. Darlene Lieske? I think it says Lieske. Anyway, Lieske, Darlene. Again, get in touch with William at manager@shaylablack.com, and we will hook you up with a surprise or two and some fun stuff. So that's it for me. Thank you, everybody, for coming and spending your Saturday night with me. Cheers to you. And you know what? If you guys like this, leave me some comments. I'm also going to put this on YouTube and try to put some links to other videos and some other stuff out there coming up and build a channel. So stay tuned for that. And hopefully, if you guys like this, let me know and we'll do it again in August. Bye.